Hello friends, in today's video we're going to be changing the rear brake pads on this Mercedes GLB. This particular model is 2021 and it's GLB 200. So just going to crack on with it. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to remove this handbrake motor connector. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to use E12 socket to undo two bolts which are securing the caliper itself. So we're going to remove the caliper next. Then the bottom one. There we go friends, that's the two E12 bolts taken off. Just gonna remove the caliper. There we go. So that's the caliper disengaged. So the next thing I'm gonna do is just gonna take the brake pads off. Right, just to mention that this particular model doesn't have the brake wear sensors on the back. There we go. So that's the old brake pads taken off. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to remove these clips, all four of them, because the new pads have come with the new clips. So the way you take it off is like this. Okay, that's the two outer ones, two inner ones. There we go, that's the inner one and one at the top. There we go, that's the inner clips taken off. So the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to clean the area with the wire brush. Then same at the top. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to clean the disc. And then the outer edge. So next what we're going to do is we're going to pull these guide pins out. There we go, that's the bottom one. Just going to give it a good clean. And we're going to re-grease it with the copper grease. There we go, just going to insert it back in. There we go. Now we're going to pull the top guide pin. There we go. Again, give it a good clean with a cloth. Just gonna dip into the copper grease. There we go. Perfect. Just gonna clean the excess grease. Next, we'll wind the caliper piston back. So in order to wind the piston back, we'll have to remove the electronic handbrake motor itself, and this motor is secured by two bolts, two 5mm hex bolts, one on each side. We're gonna use a 5mm hex to take the bolts off. Right, so that's one side of the hex bolt. take the other side bolt off. There we go. Okay, so both of the bolts taken off. So now what we're going to do is we're going to wiggle the motor to disengage it from the caliper. There we go. So that's the motor out of the way. In order to wind the piston back, we're going to be using a CRV45 bit, and we're going to insert it here at the back, and we're going to just tighten it. Okay, so that you just turn it clockwise like this, and then what you do is you push the piston back. So you hold the piston, so you push the piston back in this manner. Same time you turn the, there we go, just like that. That's the piston fully pushed back. So now what we can do is we can put the handbrake motor back on. So the way handbrake motor goes back on is like this, just like that. 2 5mm hex bolts. So one bolt goes here, there we go. So that's the right hand side bolt fully tightened. We're just gonna tighten the left hand side one. So that's the motor fully secured back onto the caliper. Okay, so we're gonna put the caliper on one side. Next we're gonna fit these clips. So these clips have come with the new pads. So that's how we're gonna fit them. There we go. One at the front top. Again, it's gonna go in this manner. Nice and easy. One in here. Like that. So one at the top just here. There we go, that's all the 4 clips full in. Here comes the new brake pads. These pads have small clips which you fit on the each side of the brake pad. There we go, so it's going to slide in this manner. One clip fits at the top end, and then one clip fits here like this. Okay, so that's the clip fully home. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to apply a little bit copper grease on both edges of the pad, just here a little bit, just going to dab it a bit, and then on this side. Okay, so that's that done. There we go. So this is the outer pad, so it's going to go in this way like this. There we go, that's fully home. Here comes the inner pad. A little bit copper grease here, then the clips gets in place. Like this. Okay, same on this side. There we go. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide the inner one now. Just gonna turn the light on. So the way inner pad that's fitted is like this. So that's the inner pad fully home. So that's the inner and outer pad nicely in place. Here comes the caliper. So just gonna bring the caliper closer like this. Two bolts. There we go. That's the top bolt fully secured. And the bottom one here, just gonna hold on to the pin so that the pin doesn't spin while I'm securing the bolt. There we go. That's the bottom bolt fully secured. Right, so the next what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring in the connector. So this is the handbrake motor harness connector. Just gonna push it all the way in. There we go. So just gonna apply the handbrake a few times to bring it back to the normal position. There we go. That's the handbrake fully engaged. So now we're gonna disengage it. There we go. So that's the handbrake disengaged. We're gonna engage it again. There we go.